Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to complete your research homework assignment using the library databases. To begin, you're going to go to the Kimball Library main page, and then you'll select Database Finder. Once you select Database Finder, you're going to go down to Education, and then under Education you're going to click on ERIC. ERIC is a database of tons of really great education research articles. Now for your search fields. You want to search for terms that apply to using the internet in the classroom. So instead of typing using the internet in the classroom for innovative teaching practices or whatever it asks for in the actual question, what you can do to get better results is to input terms of ways that you've seen the internet being used in the classroom. For example, I could type in apps and then special education. This type of search is going to give me a lot more meaningful results. And then if you take a look at the actual question in your online textbook, it asks you for the full text article. You have to make sure that your article is peer-reviewed. And then it has to be a journal article. All right, so you'd make sure that you have these three, search criteria selected, and then you can hit search down at the bottom. All right, so now I have 25 results on here. One of the things that you have to do now is read through a bunch of these different articles to see if it's something that you can use for your homework assignment. So if I'm going down here and I open up this number 3, it's accessibility, the top 10 iPad apps for special education. If I open that up and I open up the PDF full text, reading through this, I can see that it's not an actual research study. It's more about different apps in the classroom, how much they cost, that kind of thing. So it doesn't actually investigate a research question. There's not actually a population that is studied in this article. It's more of like a magazine article. So we're going to not use that one. And if I continue down here, we have another entry here. It says effectiveness of using iPads to increase academic task completion by students with autism. Now that sounds like a really good, meaningful article where a population is being studied, which is students with autism, and the thing that's being studied is the effectiveness of using iPads to increase academic task completion. So I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to read through the full text of this article. So the full text is available at this URL, so I'm just going to open that in a new tab. Okay, and then download full text, and this is where I could read through this article, and I can tell just from the abstract here that this is a research study that investigates the effects of using iPads in the classroom. One of the things you have to address in your paper is what is being studied in this journal article. So you would have that right here. So I would read through the study and I would find all the different points that the prompt asks for. So I kind of have a loose, outline arranged here. So you have to have at least one page. You have to summarize the research study in a paragraph or more than one paragraph, really whatever fits your overall writing style. And then you have to address what you can take out of this article that you're reading about for use in your future classroom. So if you're going to teach special ed, maybe some of the ways that the authors of this article investigated apps in the classroom, you can learn from that and then utilize that in your future teaching. The last two things are also really important, and let me show you how to use the library database built-in tools in order to get these two things, APA citation and permalink. Alright, so to get the APA citation, I'm going to go back to the actual library database page where I found this article. So it should look like this. It's going to have the authors, the source, the availability, all that jazz on it. And then in order to get the APA citation, there's a handy dandy little citation tool built in. All you have to do is just scroll down to the APA citation, which is right here. So there are kind of two things that go along with this. If I copy this and try and paste it into a Word document, it's going to have this kind of gray background on it. So I'm just going to undo that, and I'm going to right click and then go down to keep text only. So when I paste like that, it doesn't have that gray background on it. And when I hit enter, it's going to make this into a URL. We don't want that, so we're going to right click that and remove hyperlink first. So the library citation tool is really smart, but one thing it doesn't get is that in APA format, titles are sentence case. So, the first letter of the first word would be capitalized, just like you're writing a sentence. Any proper nouns would be capitalized, and then also any words after terminal punctuation. So that would be something like a period, exclamation point, but usually that's going to be a colon. We don't have a colon, in this actual title of our research study, but we do need to go through and make sure that it is sentence case. So all of these different words here, I'm going to make lowercase. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is make the journal title and then the issue italics. And then we are good with all of the formatting. The next thing that we need to do is to highlight the entire citation itself, and we have to have that hanging indent. So a really easy way to do that is to highlight the entire source, hold in Control or Command on a Mac, and then hit the T key on your keyboard. Once again, that is holding in Control and then hitting the T key on your keyboard. Then you have that nice hanging indent. You don't have to deal with any of the rulers up here or anything. Okay, so we have our citation here. The next thing that we need to do is get the permalink for this source. So that's another tool that is built in to the actual library tools here. So on the right hand side we have permalink, and when we click that button it's going to give us a permalink up here. I'm going to copy that. So this URL is at the very top. For some reason with the library resources, if you go to view this URL in 12 hours, it's not going to exist anymore. It's not going to take you to this page. You have to get the permalink for that article resource. And that's what, if you're making a Word document with a whole bunch of different articles that you're reading for a bigger research project, that's what you're going to want to paste in there so that you can visit that article at any time. If you copy this main URL up here, paste into a Word document to view later, you're not going to be able to get there, and then you're going to lose all that time that you spent researching. So make sure you get this permalink, copy that, and then you would paste that into your Word document. As you can see, the citation engine actually gives you a permalink in its citation, so we don't actually have to use this permalink for this assignment. But it is good to know that the permalink option is there so that you can copy and paste permalinks maybe into another Word document where you're doing research and you have a whole bunch of different articles that you want to view later. So you could have, a whole bunch of, let's say these are all different articles, and you can go back and view these at any time via the permalink. Okay? But what you have to hand in is this document. Remember, one page with your summary of the actual research article, what you can take away from this article for your future teaching, and then that citation properly aligned to APA format. As always, if you have any questions, please let your instructor know.